Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Loft Tapes. My name's Lucas,
My name's Jordan.
and this is episode 14. So I don't think we actually have. I have some headlines here today, but um, besides that, I
As per
think we're,
usual.
as per usual, we're winging. Actually, you know what? The past few episodes for YouTube, we have been pretty consistent in having a certain
Set
topic.
plan.
Yeah,
Well, I just wing it. You come in with the plan usually.
yeah. Like even if set
I,
plan is the day of, at least we have
oh yeah,
something
yeah.
to talk about. So, um, a few headlines this week, and we'll get into that in a second. But before I do, Jordan, how are you doing, man?
I'm good. We're almost
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
3 weeks away, I think, right? In
three
terms of,
weeks.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah. Pretty much. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't know how many exams you have.
no, none.
It's none.
I said
You don't
no,
have any.
no exams.
No.
I'm a project based program,
Oh
so
right, right,
no
right,
exams, just a bunch of projects. Yeah.
right. So how many do you have left? Like, is it a lot,
Projects
or just big ones?
like
Like a few big ones.
one massive one,
Right.
and then three minor ones. But they're
Three
still
minor
with
ones.
like
Okay.
15%, so they're pretty
So
big.
you're focused in on like four different things right now, and then you're done.
Well, the thing is, the three projects. So there's going to be one minor project a week,
Right.
but
Oh,
over top of all that, there's the major project. So I'm working on the major project throughout the whole thing, but the minor
yeah.
projects are going to be handed out to us weekly.
Along the way.
So
Okay.
I have one this week. I won't know until next week what the next one is, so on and
Right.
so forth. Right.
Right.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. So it's assignments and from previous semesters. Since my final semester,
Right.
it's mainly like group work and projects and stuff.
Right.
I only have like maybe three finals,
Yeah.
3 or 4 final tests,
Oh yeah.
but that's it. So like after I finish all these projects and stuff, I only have to focus on like a little bit.
Right.
So it's so weird. Like 3 quarters, usually like the final 2 weeks is what the busiest is.
Yeah.
But for me, it was actually like 4 weeks before.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah. I hear you. But you know what? Summer's coming. Summer is absolutely coming around the corner, and
I know it's so
I
nice.
can't believe it. In some ways, this has been felt like a very fast year. In terms of school and getting that stuff done. Like
Yeah.
it's already, the weather's been really really warm here this week.
Yeah, it's like 14 degrees
Yeah,
today or
which
something.
is some people are probably like 14 degrees. What
That's
the fuck?
fucking freezing.
Yeah, but
It's, nope.
for us in Canada, we're ready
That's
to.
shorts and
Yeah, like
t-shirts.
7 degrees. We're like, yo,
This is
beach,
amazing.
beach day.
Yeah, beach.
So, um, I think I should get this out of the way. You guys are probably gonna notice something different about me. I'm wearing
It's the
glasses.
shirt.
It's the
Oh.
shirt. It's the shirt.
It's the shirt.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the shirt, this wrinkly ass shirt. I can't get over that crease right there, but whatever. Fuck it. Um, it's the glasses. So
The
I don't know
glasses.
if I can get like a
No longer alone, guys.
yeah, but I don't need reading glasses. My vision is 20/20. This is strictly for they're called blue light
Don't mean to
glasses.
break. My vision is 2020 when you have a guy here with like astigmatism and shitty eyes. I can still see you.
Let's do the thumbnail. Let's do the thumbnail.
I don't even. I'm just like, I don't,
Just did what I did.
I just like.
Fuck it,
No,
that's
do you know? Because Desi always like makes fun of me whenever I do this.
right,
Because
right.
the long behold joke is that I look like that one guy when I have my glasses.
Jeffrey Dallas or
Jeffrey
whatever.
Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the YouTuber. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
But
whenever I do something like that, I think of Desi. I'm like, oh shit.
yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll probably try to get another one later. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're blue light, and essentially, I'm working on a computer like 15 hours a day on some days, and um, I've noticed I've been getting headaches, and I'm pretty sure it's like I've narrowed it down to it's because I'm consistently looking at a screen, and especially my PC monitor, the desktop or whatever it is, it's huge, and yeah, like I'm working with small lettering and all this other stuff. So my eyes are constantly peeled on something, and I don't even know if I'm blinking, right? So
Yeah.
the
Not
goal,
only are you like on it, is that you're focused into it for a
like
long period of
super
time.
focused into it. So
Right.
the goal is to reduce the strain on my eyes, and hopefully that helps my headaches. And I've noticed a bit of a difference already. So I'm just waiting to see how it works when I'm working those 15-hour days, right? So far so good. Harry Potter is now your co-host. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So, um, So
with
yeah,
no hat.
with no hat,
Everything's different.
we were changing everything up today. You know what? The weather's nice. Springtime. Daylight savings has changed again.
Yeah, we're an hour ahead.
So we're an hour ahead now. That really fucked with me for like a week.
Oh man, because whenever I see it like it go dark out, I'm like, oh, I still have like 5 hours of the day left. Now it's like, oh shit, I should
How
get
is it
ready
9 o'clock? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Do you have anything pressing to throw at us today?
No, not at all.
Well, let's get into some of these headlines. This is just world news, a bit of sports. Actually, it's pretty much world news and sports, I suppose.
Yeah, that's really all it is.
but the first thing is, Jordan, have you heard or have you been keeping up with what's happening in Iceland right now?
Iceland?
Yeah, Iceland.
No.
So Iceland had an eruption, actually, a volcanic eruption. Did you not?
It must have not been that big.
No, well, it's not, but it's big for them. Because it's the first, as it reads here, it's the first eruption in 800 years.
Oh.
Of this volcanic structure, like because they had another one in 2010,
right?
Which actually
That's
stopped.
Weird.
Yeah, and the plumes of the volcano from that one, different volcano in Iceland actually caused airlines to stop.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, but yeah, this one happened. Oh god. Okay, let's read some of this. The fissure, which is I'm assuming the area, the site of the eruption, is about 500 700 meters long. I'm gonna try to pronounce this.
The name of the thing.
Never mind.
Walkie slide.
No, never mind. It's like Fagradalsfjall or something like that. Anyways,
there it is.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna get from me today.
Stamp it.
The last eruption, on the site was 800 years ago.
Yeah, because isn't it like the diameter that establishes how long it'll be till the next one?
I guess there's something they have a way of doing it. I learned a bit about that when I was studying through Iceland, but so Iceland has recorded more than 40,000 earthquakes in the past 3 weeks.
Actually, to bring up earthquakes, Japan just yesterday had one, and there's a tsunami warning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yo, tsunamis are so terrifying.
Yeah, and then like 2 weeks before that, like 2 weeks ago, there was one for New Zealand. I don't know if you remember that one.
No, I don't. No, I guess I'm keeping up with my earthquakes.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I don't know how many, but there was like tsunami warnings to.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy.
However, the eruption is not expected to spew out much ash, so aviation should not suffer. And so I think this started 2 days ago, and it's about 30 kilometers out from Reykjavik, which is the capital.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's not that far off. Yeah, and if you look at photographers like Benjamin Hardman, as I know is one that we both know, he's been getting some insane shots.
Oh, that's okay. Because I saw his post, right? And I was like, I don't even understand what's going on. It's like,
right? Yeah, there's an eruption, so it's really big. It's really big news over there right now, and it's actually it's making world news. Every time Iceland.
Is there evacuations?
No, I mean, people that lived in the area or close by were told to keep their windows shut due to emissions and gases, but the gas, I believe, is sulfur dioxide. Is they also said it's not harmful. Not the amount, anyways, is harmful to our health. Not I said our health as if I lived there, but what's crazy is you could actually see the sky glowing red. Is what one of the residents said. So that's pretty crazy. Can you imagine like looking out your window and it's red?
Yeah, that was like California not that long ago.
Yeah, it's like,
remember that?
It's day of the volcano eruption,
Right.
So yeah,
that's crazy though. I didn't even hear about that.
No. So it's funny because Benjamin Hardman, the photographer we were discussing, posted an image of the eruption site, the volcano.
Wow,
come on. That was bad.
Volcano?
That was bad. No, like I think I was mixing up syllables, but man, let's just try to look over that. Jesus, the perks of running a podcast that you're recording live or whatever.
At like 9:50.
Yeah, fuck. Dude, it's actually 10:10.
It's
So,
10:10, but we
yeah.
started at whatever, Lucas.
So what was I even gonna say? Oh yeah. So he was in a helicopter. He was taking a shot, looking down on the volcano. Does,
It's fine.
it's fine.
It's just a volcano now.
Volcano. Where am I getting the speech impediment?
Just throw Pepsi in there. Yeah.
Volcano, everyone. I think that's hilarious, man. Twice in a row. I gotta stop. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is he was taking a shot, and there was just a man walking his dog casually beside. Just like
On the volcano.
Yeah, like Icelanders do not give a fuck.
Oh my
They're like,
gosh.
this is a part of our heritage and culture. Like that's we're used to it, I guess, is what I was getting from that. Like this guy's
Imagine just
this guy's like, it's a good day to walk your dog.
yeah. Like imagine just waking up, you see a volcano going on. It's like, I'm gonna go for a walk.
Yeah, right?
Like, what?
Hey Charlie, you want to go for a walk? Yeah.
And he's like wagging his tail. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yo, fuck yeah. But
Danger? Yes.
You know what? And that's the thing with lava. It looks appealing. Like it looks so satisfying.
It's almost like candy in a way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it looks so satisfying to look at, and you want to touch it.
But
But you're
then
gonna
you're
you're gonna die. Your hand's gonna fall off. Like it's fucked. And I wonder if it's something that happens quick or slow. Like could you in and out real quick and be fine?
yeah, like does it draw you in?
Right. Like is it like could you just be like boop, I'm fine? Or like is it gonna be like your finger's gone? Like
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
Like whenever you go to something hot, you usually like faint before you even get there.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like boiling water or whatever. Like
Mhm.
people say that if you jumped in, you wouldn't even feel it because you would have passed out before.
Right. They say that about like burning alive. Like again, who's alive to say that they've
Yeah,
but
like
they say
boiled
that
alive or
the
something.
the smoke you die from the CO2 faster
Right.
than it burns you, right?
Right.
So that's a weird topic to get into.
Yeah. That's
But
morbid.
sorry. Yeah, I've been watching these murder documentaries lately, so now my head's just all about fucking whatever. It kind of it's weird how watching that shit not only it doesn't desensitize you, but it gets it gets you thinking about death, and it gets you thinking about murder. It's fucked when you watch these documentaries, man. You're like, I don't know.
Which one have you watched?
Well, it wasn't necessarily. It was a YouTube documentary, so it wasn't like an official one.
Yeah.
But it was about Ed Kemper. Ed Kemper, he's like this well-known. I think he was 70s. He killed 2 girls in the back of his car or whatever. I don't know. But
Okay. It's just on him.
it was just on him. So now I've just been like, yo, that guy was fucked. That guy's man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Iceland erupted, and
Yeah.
but I don't think it's large enough to cause any real harm. It's just at this point, it's something that people are looking at and in awe of. So
Yeah, and first of all, like how does Benjamin Hardman just get a bright idea to fly a helicopter over
well,
a volcano like that?
Yeah, it probably took him a lot of time to get licensed to actually fly above a volcano, but
That was like active.
that was active. But man, that guy, he's doing some really great things for Icelandic culture in terms of
Yeah.
through photographs. So I'm sure he's got a lot of perks and stuff up his
Oh,
sleeve.
100%. But like just for Benjamin Hardman, like that is something crazy. Like just to even think about going over one.
Yeah,
It's
he's,
like
no, he's like he's living a life that I think everybody wants to try to achieve. So
yeah.
yeah, no, it's awesome. Okay, well, we're gonna switch it up. This is completely on the other side of the spectrum now. Again, I hate how we can't keep track of how long these episodes are. I know. I mean, we did check it was 10:10, but like.
Yeah, I think we started at 9:55.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Well,
Either 10 or 9:55.
I'll believe you. I'll believe you.
I believe you, son.
So, this was pretty big in the sports world. For all of you who follow UFC, maybe if you don't even follow the UFC, for those of you who don't know what that is I think it's the Ultimate Fighters. Is it championship?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not too familiar.
I don't actually know what the C stands for. But anyways, even if you don't follow, you might know the name Khabib Nurmagomedov. Hopefully I got that right.
Oh, look at that. I think
Hopefully,
that's right.
probably better than the Icelandic pronunciation. Who knows? Um,
The Russian phenom.
and he retired, so he's up there with Conor McGregor in terms of fame, and especially for Russia. Like he's a huge deal over there. Even though he's not Russian, I don't think he's. I think he or
He,
well, no, he is
I'm pretty.
Russian. I
Yeah.
just don't know if he's from Russia, like actually Russia, or one of the other small countries that speak Russian. I don't actually know.
Right. Okay.
Um, but yeah, he retired. So he announced his retirement from the MMA last October. And
Do you know why he announced it?
no, do you know?
Yeah. So his dad, before his deathbed, because he died before his last fight,
Yeah.
and he made a promise to his dad that he wouldn't fight anymore.
Oh.
And then when he passed away, or it was he promised his dad that he wouldn't fight anymore because his
Yeah.
dad wished it when he was gone that he didn't want it because that's what his dad was his coach,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he didn't believe in getting coached by anyone else.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So
You know what? I think it was, do you know George St. Pierre? He's the,
yeah,
yeah. So I
it's
think,
probably the one of the best fighters of all time,
yeah,
arguably.
Canadian, or yeah, Canadian guy.
Yeah, so I think so. Is he
No,
from Quebec?
he's Quebec.
I-
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was also saying like I read an article where he said he hates fighting, but like he's never liked it, but the joy you get, from winning and succeeding is like like nothing else, right?
Yeah, and it's almost like what you were talking to me before the episode. It was like you were practicing skateboard tricks,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And
So
it's
yeah,
about landing that trick or whatever.
yeah,
Even in fights, it's about landing that move. That is just like that's so
that
thrilling.
feeling that you can't get that anywhere else. So he doesn't necessarily look forward to punching someone in, but man, like yeah, and can you imagine punching somebody and just being like, boom, $2 million?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the minute somebody falls to the ground and you were the one to punch him, you're like, I am rich.
Yeah.
Or richer, I guess, if you're already
And I
at
love
that.
how you said $2 million when they actually are getting like 60 million. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, like it's fucked. It's fucked.
Right. And that's for the loser. Like the winner
It's true,
sometimes
right?
gets even
Yeah,
more. Like
it's true, right? I know. I hear you. It's absolutely insane. So, yeah, so what does it say here? At the time, he was just seconds removed from a submission win over Justin. Is it Gaethje? I don't actually know how to pronounce his last name. I've always contemplated how to pronounce that. Um, and Dana White, the president of UFC, was actually trying to convince him to return for at least one more fight, but Khabib was adamant that he was done.
Mm.
So he never really considered booking another fight. Um, and yeah, I think the fighting world is definitely going to miss Khabib. He was ruthless, like absolutely. Like if you're talking
this
about
kid, like well, he's not a kid anymore, but as a kid, he used to wrestle
with
or spar with a
baby
bear.
bears, yeah, with
Yeah,
cubs,
he still has that bear
yeah,
too.
and
It's like
if you saw where he came from, like he lived in a very mountainous region of Russia. Like if you saw his upbringing, he was hardened by the land. Like he knows. Like if there's one person you don't want to fight, it's Khabib. Like I would, yeah,
yeah,
like Connor over Khabib any day. Like even though Connor's on in a league of his own, like if I had to choose one, if I was fighting at that level, Khabib, when you're talking about ground game,
oh
Khabib
yeah,
is terrifying.
he's a pure wrestler. Like he's
Yeah,
like pure. He does like the dog work of the
yeah.
whole fighting scene.
The fucking strength on that man. It's
Yeah,
fucking
he'll
insane.
hold you down forever. Like
Oh, he can. He can.
yeah, until the round's over.
Yeah.
Like that's when you can get back up.
Like who the fuck
Win.
fights bears as a child? Like
I
that's
know. Like that is insane.
that's
Like
nuts, man. Like when I think about that and I just think about how our upbringing in Canada, it's like we are bitches. Like we
it's
are
like I played with a puppy. Like
yeah,
what the
dude, like we are so soft.
Yeah, we are. That's actually a big
Like and you know
topic
what
too.
that's a good topic for society too. I think we're getting so soft, man. Like I think we're straying away from what it means to have resilience and what it means to if a hardship comes up in our life, we don't know how to deal with it,
Yeah, we kind of shy away and
right?
go
Like
check social media or something.
yeah, like and I was watching a video on, I think it was about posture. Like this is completely unrelated kind of, but he was saying how we have become so prone to just looking down and hunching over, right? Like people don't even know what it means to have a straight back anymore. And it's like that can kind of be a metaphor for society in terms of we are so constantly looking inwards at our problems that we forget what it's like to,
Right.
to be, to hold ourselves up and understand that there's going to be
Yeah.
struggles, but
We hide them.
we
We
hide
always
them,
hide
man.
them.
We hide them, and we look to social media, and we think that change comes from posting about it, but change in fact comes from, and I get the whole thing of like, you have to communicate. Um, you have to, if you want change to happen, the more people you let know, the more chance there is for change to occur. I get that, absolutely. I get why these things happen. I get, especially recently with um the recent shooting at the
Yeah.
Asian shooting, right? The massage. I forget what it was. I'm sorry, I'm not um too familiar with where it was, but yeah, especially with that, like it's good to communicate those things, but I don't know if I stand alone in saying that. Is it necessarily bad? They're always saying silence is violence, right?
Right.
And is staying silent about a topic, does that mean, like, maybe you're staying silent from social media, right? That's the thing. Like here we are now talking about it,
Right.
but did we post anything on our social medias about it? Not
No.
necessarily. And maybe that's our fault. Maybe that's something that we should have done, right? but
Mhm.
but we can still care for a topic and want to make change occur without posting about it,
Yeah.
right? And I
And
think that we've become very dependent on posting to social media. And again, there's a lot of positives to doing so. I'm not trying to say I'm not, I like that behavior. I think it's good, but is it? I don't know. What's your take on that? Is it always the way to go to post on social media about a topic instead of, I don't know,
right.
and maybe that's the thing. Like, what's the alternative, right?
I mean, like when you're trying to change like something like that, do you know like the Blackout Tuesday when we did that like last year?
Yeah, yeah,
It's like, yeah, that created awareness, but there's still that problem all over the
right,
world, right?
right,
So the change has to come from within, not through social
right.
media. Like, yes, it's gonna play in the equation, but like
Yeah,
you kind of have to show an example, like
right.
physically, rather than just posting something.
I think the issue comes in the fact that some people can assume that if you post about an issue because you feel very, very passionately and strongly about it, that it'll automatically start creating waves, which it very well might, depending on your audience. But the reality is it will be so hard to change everyone. It'll be so hard to change even people you consider close friends. You can't change behaviors. You can't. Like, you can try to educate them on a topic, but for change like that to occur, for a large change like stopping racism or world hunger, like those changes, it's sad to say, but I think there will always be some aspect of them because these things take years and years and years. And we may very well get there one day, but give granted the current population of the world, the different age ranges, people coming from, it's just a matter of where we are in the earth right now. It's, you have people coming from, you still have people alive from, the 60s, the 50s.
Right.
So those generations are not going to know. But when those generations all die off, maybe 50 years from now, whatever, you're going to start seeing changes, that because our generation is going to be that now be the age group of like like elders.
Yeah.
And if we're going to have this knowledge passed down to the youth, that's when change will start occurring. Right now, it is very hard for that because we have young people trying to educate old people who have already made their minds up.
Right.
And you could try everything, but and maybe the goal is not educate the old people. Maybe we're just like, yeah, you know what, so
No,
far,
it's about creating awareness and
yeah,
keeping that
yeah, and
awareness.
maybe it's about, you know what, no, our goal is not to educate old people, it's to educate the
Right.
young ones, right? It's to educate.
Right. And with change, it takes time, right? It's
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't just change something overnight. It has to,
no,
like with something big as this, where it's cultural
yeah,
and you have to change kind of the whole country's mindset. It's
yeah,
gonna take years upon years.
yeah, man, absolutely. I don't even remember what we were discussing before this now, but
I think it was UFC. Oh wait,
no,
I
I
don't
think we
even.
finished UFC. I don't
Oh,
even
did
know.
we? Okay.
I don't know, but anyways, that
Yeah.
was kind of a very long-winded answer and
Yeah.
side topic.
Yeah.
I think it's good that we touched on that, though, because again, the Asian shooting was a very, very big thing that happened in the past
Yeah.
little
It
while
wasn't that
here.
long
So
ago. Yeah.
no, so um, obviously our hearts go out to the families involved, and yeah, just every time a shooting happens, and it's sad to say, it's a part of you doesn't feel surprised, but you still feel for the families, and you still feel for the incident that occurred, and
Mhm.
you just wish these things could be avoided,
Right.
but yeah, unfortunately, again, we're not there yet as a world. There's so much things that we have yet to figure out, and
We're always
and
figuring out something.
yeah, man,
That's it.
it's gonna be yeah,
It's
it's
all
always
trial and error.
yeah.
That's all it is.
This is the last thing I have for today, but we can kind of
Okay.
go off after this. So it has to do with the Tokyo Olympics this year,
Okay.
and let's just read you the headline here, or read you the article. So it's official. After countless unsourced news reports and rumors, spectators from abroad will be barred from the and postponed from the Tokyo Olympics when they open in 4 months. So Tokyo Olympics is only open to Japanese citizens, or yeah. So no
Ooh.
internet. So nobody from international, like nobody internationally, can go to the Olympics this year. So fans from
Hmm.
outside Japan are banned from attending Tokyo Olympics, is what the headline is. How do you feel about that right off the bat before I start getting into the?
I mean, it's a touchy subject, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But like, I could see why that is.
yeah.
Like, I'm not like mad at it or anything, because it's like this whole world is like you don't know what to do really.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. So
I
that's
don't think there's anything wrong with it, to be
no,
honest.
and it's I think it's obviously COVID related.
Yeah.
So the decision was announced Saturday after an online meeting of the International Olympic Committee, the Japanese government, the Tokyo government, the International Paralympic Committee, and local organizers. Officials said the risk was too great to admit ticket holders from overseas during a pandemic. The Japanese public has also opposed fans from abroad. Several surveys have shown that up to 80% oppose holding the Olympics, and a similar percent opposed fans from overseas attending. So
So what about like families and stuff, like of the athletes? I wonder if
no,
they're
no, they're
allowed
definitely
to.
like as long. Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
That's the only thing I would be
Here I
like.
was thinking that the Olympics was just Japanese people. Like, of course you have
Right.
international. It's a world thing. So
It's
you
like
have
there's no motivation for the athletes from abroad if they don't even have family
and you know what's
to.
strange? Well, they might have their family. I can see their family being there, but you know what's strange? A big part of it for them, I feel, is looking into the crowd and seeing your section with a flag,
Right. Yeah.
right?
It's
And
motivation. It's like I'm gonna
right,
get down that whatever
it's like I am
sport you're
here for
in.
my country,
All right.
right? And you could see your country there. And I don't know. It's a very yeah. So Japan, it says Japan, which has attributed about 8,800 deaths to COVID, has controlled the virus better than most countries. And this is one thing that there was, I guess they were discussing in order to stop anything else from happening. So it's definitely touchy. I mean, it's unfortunate that we're throwing this on Japan, because that could have been any country in the Olympics, right? So
Yeah. Like what would we have done? You
yeah,
know,
like right, if it was Canada, what would we have said? Or if it's Italy, what have they? So it's like
most likely kind of the same thing.
I think you know what,
You
I think
know.
this decision, it makes sense, if I'm being honest. I think the families of the international athletes are going to be there, but
I'd
for
hope so.
fans,
I'd hope so.
it's going to be a no go and just Japanese. So it's going to be weird. I would be very surprised if they ever try to do like one of those virtual audiences. You ever see those things on like talk
Yeah.
shows and shit?
NBA does them.
Yeah, right. Like it's interesting. I don't think I like it, to be honest. It's
But
weird.
it's better
It's
than
so straight.
nothing, I
Yeah.
feel, because you actually still get like reactions from people.
Right, right.
You
But then
know.
you have like people just like frozen, like
Right.
like yeah. I think we just got some good thumbnails there. But
It's like when your power went out with Desi in the episode.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But yeah, man, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. It's you know what, the vaccines are rolling out. My dad was vaccinated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he works with the hospital. Not like I
Oh,
would say
okay.
at the hospital, but that assumes that he's like a doctor, which he's not. But um, he works in the hospital, through the hospital, all that. So he had to get
So yeah, he was probably one of the
vaccinated.
first ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I actually probably might have to get vaccinated to travel to Sweden. So for my abroad.
Yeah.
So um, it's coming, you know, whether or not I feel strongly about, how do you feel about being vaccinated?
I'm not gonna get vaccinated. If I don't
Yeah,
have to, I'm not going
right.
to.
Like I think I have to if I want to travel.
Yeah.
I think the way
There's a
forward,
difference if you have to.
I think the way forward is if you want to travel from now on in life, you're probably gonna have to get vaccinated. That's the
Yeah.
reality.
Unless you're gonna be waiting for a while.
Unless you know you're not gonna do anything for a while. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, like it's one of those things, right? Like I don't know. I don't really feel too good about getting vaccinated, but you know what? Like I've also watched a lot of things and read a lot of articles that said this thing is completely safe, and a part of me still like, okay, but how do you know?
Right.
I'm always asking why or how,
Yeah.
um, but you know, if I have to, what am I gonna say, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give up an opportunity like the one I just received to travel to Sweden for 6 months.
Right.
Um, if you know, yeah. So you know, and that's actually another thing altogether. I've been trying to learn the language a little bit,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. You
that's
already
been
did though. You kind of like over time you've kind of tackled it.
yeah, but that's been an interesting journey in itself.
Mhm.
Definitely very far removed from English. Actually, well, I say that, but you know what? Not really. Like, there's a lot of words that overlap. A lot
Right.
of words that overlap, and you can pretty much get by. Like, if I'm reading an article or reading something in Swedish, you can pretty well make out a majority of what you're reading based on some words.
Like is
Uh,
it almost kind of like English? Or is that what you're comparing it to?
like, for instance, like for something like landscape, it's like landskap, which is but it's
Mm.
instead of a C, it's with a K, right? So just things
Okay, so it's still like English lettering.
pretty.
Like it's
Oh yeah, it's all
yeah.
the same.
Okay.
Just you know, um, what's another thing? Like
Because
for
I know
instance,
Russian, it's like different. I hate to say
yeah.
symbols, but you know what I mean.
Oh, I hear what you're
Like they're
saying. Yeah, like yeah, it's got their own dialect, the
yeah.
font and alphabet and stuff like that. But
Right.
um, no, Swedish is the English language, like the English lettering.
Right.
Um, so another thing I can think of is dog. So if you think of a dog, another word for dog in English is hound, and then the Swedish word for dog is hund. Like so,
Oh, okay.
it's you can if you, it's a lot easier when you're reading it. If you're reading it, you can make it out. If you're hearing it and somebody's speaking to you fast, maybe that's the difficult part.
Yeah.
But again, everybody there speaks English, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But I still want to learn
Yeah.
to immerse myself, you know, as much as I
Yeah.
can.
That's why I wonder too. It's like, is it the vocabulary that? Because English is probably one of the hardest languages to learn, right?
Man, they you know what? Europe has such a good grasp of English. It's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But it's like whenever you get someone, they're like, "Oh, it's so hard to read," or "It's so hard to pronounce."
yeah,
Like when people come here and they're trying to learn the different theirs or wheres,
yeah.
they get so like it's so messed up for
Oh yeah,
people.
oh yeah.
Like
I
it
know.
takes them. That's like the biggest part of the language is
But
those like similar like words, but they have totally different meanings.
yeah, but man, for some reason Europe just has a really good grasp of that, and Sweden particularly has been known throughout the world to have some of the best, most fluent English in the world.
Mhm.
Um, for a while there, I believe it was their first language. I'm not too sure anymore, but
Same with Norway, right?
oh yeah,
Norway has actually a
Scandinavian languages are incredibly coherent and um, you know, well versed in the English language. So
yeah.
um, yeah, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, so it's very similar. I still want to learn it just to you know to get. I feel like although they can't speak English, a part of me still probably thinks that they get a bit nervous to speak English. Like if somebody's like, because I think I would, right? Like
Yeah.
if English was my second language, and I knew I could speak it fluently, but somebody was still like asking me stuff in English, I'd be like, okay, you got to do this, you got this.
Yeah, you would
It's like
always feel like, "Am
yeah,
I saying that right?"
there's always
Like,
some doubt. Like especially with my sister, she's fluent in a few languages. French is one that she knows, and you know, she's still like, yeah, like I can speak French. If somebody calls me on the phone in French, I can totally have a conversation with them. But a part of me still like, okay, they're speaking French now. Like, turn on your French mode.
and it's also about like what was it called? It's like for Portuguese, for example, we
Mhm.
have the Azores, which is many different islands, and
Yeah,
then we have mainland.
yeah.
But each different island or mainland like city has a different accent,
Accent. Yeah,
right? So you
yeah.
could be speaking Portuguese, but they don't understand what you're saying.
And think about Brazilian as opposed to Portuguese.
Right.
Complete, dude. I swear to God, it's a
Completely
different
different.
language. I can't understand it.
Yeah.
I can pick out some things, but man, the accent is so harsh that I can't figure it out a lot of the
Right.
time. Um, so that's another thing I'm gonna have to try to overcome. And but you know what? One of my biggest nerves when it comes to learning languages is having the confidence to speak out loud. Because when I'm here in my bedroom and I can like say words, I'm like, oh, bro, I'm so fluent in this shit.
Yeah.
I'm saying like sentences, but then the minute I try to say them out loud, I'm like,
That's why
oh,
you kind of have to like learn a language with someone else,
that's what I'm
because you
saying. And
like you
yeah,
need that conversation skills as well.
yeah, like I know you can pay for like virtual lessons where you're just talking to a Swede for an hour,
Yeah.
and I think that learning through conversation is probably the best way to do it.
Probably the most efficient.
Yeah, yep. And you know, I think I'm gonna learn a lot when I'm there too. So
Yeah. But that's almost probably the best way to learn something. It's just
it's to
fully
immerse
put
yourself
your
in the
yes,
yeah.
exactly.
So going on about that actually, I don't have any more news on my phone, anything to look at, but um going on about the languages thing, I read a headline that France had a meeting amongst countries and they want to change you could call it the second language of Europe because I think the second language of all Europe is English, right? Everybody resorts to English. They want to change that second language of Europe to Latin.
Really?
Yeah, because they want to go back to their roots. It's a language that it's the one that pretty much triggered most of the Latin-based languages, so Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, so Romanian. So they want to France is like kind of the leader in this, and they want to change that language from English to Europe. So, uh, God, bro, to Latin,
Yes.
English to
What did you
Europe,
say?
English
Oh,
to Europe.
English to Europe.
That's gonna be the title of the episode.
English to Europe.
Oh man, that's brutal.
But
Yeah.
you know what?
So,
I kind of like that though. Like I actually kind of like how they're going back to
oh
their
yeah,
roots.
I mean, I guess we're a bit selfish in saying this. I guess I'm a bit selfish in saying this, but we're kind of fucked if that happens.
Oh yeah, we definitely are. We
like
definitely
it's okay,
are.
like because our whole thing, especially with like in North America in general, um, our whole thing is well, at least somewhere speaks English. At least somebody knows English, right? And it still will be the case, but if they start teaching Latin instead of English, the amount of population that's going to know English is going to be much less. So that's going to be interesting.
But I don't know. I really like it
But
because we're in technology right now that
yeah.
you can just go somewhere and you can have a conversation through
Oh
Google
yeah.
Translate or
Oh
something,
yeah. No,
right?
it's crazy how you can like hold your phone up to something and translate it.
Right.
You
So
know?
like,
So
and this is like a language that's kind of like going scarce, right? So
mhm.
I think it's actually a smart move to bring it back because
Dude, I think it is pretty much extinct. I don't think anybody speaks Latin anymore.
right, and it's
Um,
only the rare people,
it's only
right?
the people that spend their lives dedicated to learning Latin.
Right. And most of our history is written in
In
Latin.
Latin,
So it's
yeah,
like we kind of need this to advance. Like,
yeah. Like I think it'd be cool to peer back. Like so we're moving so far ahead with technology and stuff that to bring us back to our roots and learn a language that created all these other languages would be really really interesting. But
it's like grounding almost.
yeah, like I don't feel as though English will ever go away. Obviously
No,
not. It's probably
it's
going to be
all
the it's the
all of
biggest language in
America,
the world. Yeah, like it will
right?
continue to be the biggest language. Um, but I think, and trying to convert everybody to Latin will take years. But I think that'll be a really interesting thing, and I want to see how that plays out if it does pass.
Hmm.
Um, like I think Scandinavia, even though Scandinavia is a part of Europe, I feel like they're probably going to still keep the English. Like they don't have any use for Latin because they were never based in Latin. Same with German.
Right.
German's
But the Scandinavian also has their Viking language, right?
it's Old Norse.
Yeah.
It's where it came from. So
So that's all. I would honestly, it may be wrong, but like, I feel like Norse language, is that how you say it? Norse?
Norse, yeah, Nordic
Yeah,
languages, yeah, yeah,
Nordic, and Latin are kind of two of the languages that are history. Like,
yeah. Oh, for sure,
you
man,
know, like
for
how
sure.
Latin
You have
was.
like the Asian, like Chinese.
Yeah,
You have Chinese. You have pretty much Latin, and then Nordic languages, and that kind of builds up. And then of course North America had Aboriginal languages before anybody else.
right.
So you have kind of those as the foundation for the world's languages, right?
Yeah.
And
So I think it's smart. I don't know.
I think it's interesting. I mean, if the thing is, if they pass that, then what's stopping Sweden and Norway and from being like, okay, well, we're going to return to learning some Old Norse, you know?
Mhm.
So if everybody starts reverting back, I think wouldn't that be something if everything, all these languages that we know and learn now, we lose because we went back to learning,
Yeah.
that'd be
And if
nuts.
not, like I would like for high schools, I don't know how European schools are
Yeah.
kind of built, but like I would at least have like Latin and
Well, that's,
Nordic as like an elective.
well, that's the thing. Like you'd be surprised of how little it's taught, right? Like, I think France's
Yeah.
whole thing is that we are forgetting a very fundamental aspect to human speech. Like the Latin had shaped most of Europe before,
Right.
all of this. So they're just trying to return back to that state and bring some of their history back into play. And think about, there's so many old documents that only a few people can read in the world. But, you know, say Roman emperors, whatever, spent years, they had years of monks writing down their documents of history and being like, and now only like four people can read them. Like, that's
Right.
kind of messed up, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Computers to read them and stuff, but it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. And especially with like Canada, like with as you were saying the Aborigine like language,
Yeah.
right? There's many different languages in
Oh,
the
there's so many.
Aboriginal
Yeah.
communities that we
Yeah.
have here.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to have an option to learn that language in high school rather than
Right.
French.
But dude, that stems into a whole other debate about why isn't it, right? Why
Yeah.
why aren't we learning it? Is it because they have been, you know, like, I don't know, it just goes
Like the
back to that
past is
whole
the past.
the past is the
Like
past kind of thing. Like, oh, essentially remove them from society.
right.
So why would we learn the language, right? Like, but how great would that have been for Canadian culture in particular to learn the language of the people that shaped this fucking country?
Yeah. Like
Like, I think that's like, especially Inuit. Like, I think at least learn Northern Ontario's,
yeah.
languages. Like, come on,
Hmm.
man. Like, I think it's ridiculous how we don't. I think it's ridiculous
Yeah.
how little exposure we get to native cultures, indigenous
Yeah.
cultures. I think it's absolutely, it's terrible that Canada did what it did, and now they've been paying for it ever since.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean, that's probably a big part of why I want to um, focus on Arctic design, and because I want to be able to help those indigenous communities, um, give them housing and stuff that think I'm trying to think of housing in a different sense, because right now it's kind of sad, honestly, what happens up there. But anyways,
Hmm.
yeah, on the topic of language, we should have had the option. Um, French was already done so poorly, at least in Ontario. Like, I asked one person who didn't go to a French high school if French was useful for them, and if they didn't
Right.
pursue it further because they had a passion for languages. I can't speak French, man. We
Yeah.
did
Like
we did like almost 8 years of French, 9 years of French. Don't remember a
didn't
fucking
even
thing. Yeah.
no. It was kind of almost a waste of time
Even
in
the
a
ones
way.
that did like French immersion, so classes taught in French.
Nothing.
Even there, they're like, yeah, I don't know shit. You know?
Yeah. It's just like I don't even know why I signed up for this.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sad. We should have come out fluent, because if you go to I'll keep using Sweden as an example. If you go to Sweden again, you learn English, right?
Yeah. Or at least been able to read it. Like
Oh, well, read it. No, but they're fucking like, think about it. They say it takes 2 years to learn a language fluently. We had 8 years of French. We don't know
and
shit.
plus one.
Yeah,
Plus one
plus
in
one.
high school.
So we should be more than fluent. We should all speak French, like,
Yep. How did we
naturally, as
pass? How did we pass that?
bro. I don't even fucking know, man. So I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast or not, but there would literally be days where we would have to just go out in the hallway with a teacher and just be like, speak French to them as an assignment. And man, like, that was brutal.
I was
That
like,
was absolutely
I don't
bonjour.
know. Yeah, bonjour.
And it's
Je
like always, it's
m'appelle.
always the most like North American fucking bonjour, like,
Right? And then you have like a 2-second break in between words. Je m'appelle. Right?
I hear you,
Jordan. Oh
man.
yeah.
Oh, it's brutal, man. Yeah. So, you know what? Where did this start? Latin, I think, is where this began.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what happens with that. I'm gonna continue to follow that and see what happens because again, it's been like about a week and a half now, and I haven't heard anything since.
Mhm.
But obviously, they had enough of an interest to get like not the UN, but like a group of international or a group of European countries together to discuss
Yeah.
that. So we'll see what happens, man. It's gonna be interesting. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But
Have you heard about the renewable technology, the new thing they came out with? So do you know
depends.
wind turbines?
Yep.
So they've created one. I just read an article. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's kind of the same thing. It
Oh yeah.
stands tall but with no blade.
Oh
So
wow.
it's almost kind of like a Dyson vacuum, do you know, or
Right.
not a vacuum,
Right.
but the air filter,
Yes. Yeah.
and it vibrates it to create energy.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're saying that like each household could get one of these like in their backyard or something, and it would power the
Wow.
community or the household.
I would absolutely love to look into that more because that's something that I actually took an Icelandic course on was renewable energy systems. So
Right.
um, I'm kind of ashamed I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well, maybe
definitely
it's not true. Maybe that's why
no,
you didn't hear
but
about it.
see,
But
no, but I believe it because I know that they have been trying to advance those kinds of technologies
right.
and I'm really excited for the day that we go from a fueled world to an electric world. I
I
think,
would. I can't wait to see. I hope I'm alive for that.
yeah,
I
man.
hope.
And we're getting there. Like Elon
Yeah,
Musk, we always talk about Elon Musk on this fucking podcast,
because he's so sick.
but he's doing some crazy things,
he's
man.
he's a living Iron Man. Like he
He's
is
doing some
literally.
crazy things, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Actually,
like,
have you seen the Starship land?
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro, that thing floats down.
Dude, it's nuts. It's nuts. And
Like,
he's also doing things with satellite Wi-Fi, like internet
yeah,
for
what is it
everyone, like
called? Starlink? Or
Starlink, like yeah, it's nuts. Like he's absolutely insane. But anyways, we talk about him every episode, so we're not gonna get into
yeah,
that.
sure. Yeah.
Um, in any event, I think we're about ready to wrap this one up.
Yeah, we're at like 45 minutes or something.
So
Somewhere in
that should suffice, hopefully.
there.
And yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lucas,
My name's Jordan.
and if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, that is LUCASMARTINS.6. That's Lucas Martins .6.
And mine is at Manta Athletics, MANTATHLETICS.
So go check out Jordan, man. This guy, he's posting daily workouts essentially, showing some of his progress. And you're actually just starting a 75-day, I guess,
Mhm.
structured routine. So
Yeah.
that's amazing, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go onto his channel. go onto his
Channel.
go onto his.
Welcome back to my channel.
Welcome back to Jordan's. Go onto his Instagram page and check him out. You know, if you're looking for some work. Um, yeah,
Yeah, man.
and of course, what do I post? I just post like piano videos, and I got some songs out.
Yeah, didn't
I
you release like I didn't actually see it, but you released you'd release stories. I know
I
that.
do I do play like I make covers on
Yeah.
Instagram stories.
I
Yeah.
didn't see the last cover. It was about like 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, it was
But
piano. Yeah.
piano?
Yeah. So I do that. You know, I do a bit of that. I also am focused on the world of architecture and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, a lot to see, a lot to do. But again,
Yeah.
finally, please follow the Loft Tapes if you're so inclined. That is THELOFTTAPES, the Loft Tapes. We are literally every platform. So wherever you find your podcasts, you're gonna find us.
Yeah.
And thank you for sticking around as long as you have. We're almost five. I think we're 5 episodes away now.
Yeah.
So
Yes, we are. That would be
so that's
15
just a
tomorrow.
bit. It's a month and a week. So um, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that we're almost done 2 seasons of the show.
Yeah.
Um, that's nuts.
Absolutely
Two
remarkable.
seasons, that's 2 years. Like that's so
Yeah. Like 2.5 years. That's crazy.
isn't that nuts? Who knew we'd be friends for two? No,
Who knew?
I'm kidding.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? But yeah, that's I think fuck what episode is my head's not even working. I'm so
14.
hungry. Episode
This is
14.
14, yeah.
Man, I'm here like I should have eaten breakfast before this. Episode 14, and we hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Adios.
Adios.
Ah.
All right, guys. See ya.
Oh,